Hi everybody, this is Kenny Daigle at KD Cuts. Hope you're having a great day. In today's video, we're going to talk about making some luggage tags. I've done some video work on this before, and it's been based on a slip design. This is the Tandy product, but you can buy 2 of these in a pack from Tandy. This is my personal one with my initials on it. I'd gotten some Chicago screws online, and I decided, hey, let me make some luggage tags using Chicago screw just to do something different. And here's some examples. Just a simple one hole, tighten it with Chicago screw, and voila, you have a luggage tag. What I'm going to do for this video is I'm going to use my leather stamp makers 1/4 inch times New Roman letter set. Leatherstampmakers.com does great work. Go check them out if you're looking for a leather stamping set. They also do custom leather tools. They've actually done my maker's mark for me. Great guys. So we're going to jump right into this. Okay, before we start with luggage tags, let's talk about our lettering set in depth. Again, leatherstampmakers.com, they do a great job. The kits are very well thought out. You have 3 of each letter, each number. Then you have everything else you need, from dashes to periods to slashes to hashtags, ampersands. Okay? And then here, I'm showing you the layout of my first initial, last name with a space. Here's a bigger space, okay, with the kit. Over here, these are very small. Here's the period. Hope you can see that. So you could have set this up any way you want. Over here, I'm going to show you. This is one I've done, phone number and name, and I put in the period as opposed to a space. So because I usually, in fact, I always use my 3/4 ton press when I'm doing this sort of work. I find it's much more friendly to keeping things straight and aligned. So my press is set up for the right height for working with the letter set, and I'm simply going to put it under there and make sure I get it aligned correctly. Now, I like this little 3/4 ton press. Got it off Amazon. One of the reasons I like it is because of the grid on the bottom. Helps me with visually aligning things. I think it's very helpful. And we're going to go off here in a second and do some embossing and some luggage tag making. All right, so let's look at doing a 2-line like this. I've got my name set up, ready to go, again with a space, not a period. So on my luggage tag, I've scribed a couple of lines off the edges. You need some kind of guideline, okay? Now on my embossing tool, I've got the center mark with a little red dot. But in this case, I'm interested in indexing off of the edge. So you see where my K is? I've got to know where that is or pay attention to that, okay? And set it where I want on the edge of my piece, okay? Now I'm going to pull this towards me. And basically, I've got to make sure that I get this thing lined up, okay? And that's where I like to use the indexing marks on the press. So I line up an edge, and then I'm visually lining up the edge of the tool. This is kind of a blind emboss, makes it a little more difficult. But now I've got it centered up, okay? And this is really simple, guys. I'm just going to go down. It doesn't take that much. Voila. And that's pretty straight. I like that. Now the great thing about the little 3/4 ton press is I can pick it up, put it off the workbench. Of course you can bolt it down. There's bolt holes underneath it. You could have a bigger press, but I think this little 3/4 is a great size for most projects on a leather bench. So let's work on getting the telephone number put in there. All right, let's talk about setting up the tool for our next embossing or stamping. And this is going to be the phone number. Now, there's some interesting things about doing this, some little helpful hints for you. You want to have some spare leather. After you build whatever you're going to do, you make sure none of your letters or numbers are upside down or backwards. It's a pretty easy mistake to make. So let's pick this the phone number out and get it set up. Okay, now let's get that centered up. It's pretty close. There's a bunch of indexing marks on this fixture, okay? So I just loosen one, and then make sure that I am appropriately centered. In this particular case, I'm looking off the edges. So see, I've got one and a little bit, or two and a little bit on each side. All right, I'm ready to go. Okay, I've got the leather cased. Here's my name in the tag. I'm going to want to put the phone number next. I'm going to want to make sure that my leading edge is lined up with my K in my first name. That's the way I want to do this. So, pull the press into place. Put the fixture on the workbench. Okay? Double check that my left side alignment is good, and then use the grid on the press to line up the edge of the leather, and then make sure that I'm lining up the fixture with that edge as well. And now I'm pretty confident that I've got good alignment. Again, this is a blind, so you've got to practice this a little bit, but it's once you get the hang of it, it's okay. You'll do fine. And we're simply gonna make sure we're centered, and we're just gonna give it a little pressure. Voila. Guys, I think it came out great. Now, the next thing I'm going to do, I've already done some work here, and this was an experiment with 3 lines. I'm going to go back, punch some holes, get this set up, do probably some two-tone or some block dyeing on these, and then we'll talk about dimensions. Done. Chicago screw style luggage tag. Now let's talk dimensions. A single one like this with just my name using my leatherstampmakers.com set is basically 6 inches, and I'll leave this distance at 3 inches. Okay, gives me plenty of loop for whatever I want to attach it to. 7.5 on the wider ones, 1.125 width, 7.5 long, and again 3-inch distance between the holes. Here I used a 1 hole. This other one I'm going to turn it into a 2-hole design. Plenty of space to connect to whatever the bags I'm going to connect it to. So guys, I hope you liked that. Hope you found that interesting. If you did, hit the like button down below and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and stay tuned for more interesting topics in leatherwork. Thanks. See you soon.